Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I hope you are enjoying your summer vacation, or if you're not having summer vacation, then I'm truly sorry for you. I've just finished my second year of college, which was my last year of college, and now I'm spending my time having a vacation before I probably go to work, which gonna suck. But anyway, we are not here today to talk about a summer vacation, even though I hope you are enjoying it. Maybe down south you are, in South Italy, or maybe in Greece or something. But anyway, we are here to talk about movies, specifically superhero movies, and today's title will be predicting box office numbers for upcoming comic book / superhero movies of 2022. And the movies are Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Black Adam, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and DC League of Super Pets. Now, the way I have predicted these is that I have referenced other movies, well, previous movies in this series or similar movies. Now, Shazam, Fury of the Gods is being compared to Shazam, the first movie, as well as Black Adam, and then we have Thor Love and Thunder, which will be compared to Thor Ragnarok and the previous Thor movies like Thor The Dark World and Thor, but probably most likely Thor Ragnarok, since that is the same director who is directing Thor Love and Thunder, and it changed the Thor character drastically from the two previous movies. And then we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which will be compared to the first Black Panther movie from 2018. Then we have a strange inclusion here, which is DC League of Super Pets, which I have compared to the Lego Batman movie, which I believe is the last animated theatrical feature-length movie by Warner Brothers. And as well, I have compared it to The Bad Guys and Lightyear. Now let's start with the first movie on my list. It is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And let's look at the first Shazam movie numbers. Shazam had a budget of 100 million and a domestic opening of 53.5 million. In the second week, it made 24.5 million, which is a 54% second week drop. It's not great numbers, but it's better than the Batman v Superman, although I love that movie. It made domestically 140.3 million. Internationally, it made 225.6 million for a total of 365.9 million, which is not very great, but the movie was so good, and if you look at the numbers, it made its money back. But it should have made way more money than 365 million, but it was stuck in between, I believe, Captain Marvel and another Avengers movie, so two blockbuster movies. But anyway, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, I have predicted it to have a domestic opening of 80 million, and in the second week it will make 33 million, which means that it's gonna make 30 million more than the first movie, and about 8 million more in the second week than the previous movie. Now, it will have a way better domestic box office. The first movie made 140 million, and I believe this one will make 265 million domestically. Now, it may not make that much sense because it has a domestic opening of 30 million more, but overall it will make about 160 million more total, but it's just the domestic opening. And internationally, I have been very brave here again. I think it will make 317 million, and total it will make 573 million. Now, I believe this movie, like the previous one, will make more overseas than it will domestically. Now, Black Adam, I think Black Adam will actually be mirroring Shazam, the first movie, almost to the letter. Now, I have projected Black Adam to have a domestic opening of 58 million, which is about 6 million more than the first Shazam movie. It will make 30 million in the second week, which is 5 million more than Shazam, and it will have a domestic opening of 120 million. And internationally, it will make 203 million, for a total of 323 million. That might be a disappointment, I don't know. I just can't see Black Adam doing that well. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think The Rock is... Maybe he is like this big Hollywood machine that just makes money in whatever he is in, but I know quite a few of The Rock movies that haven't made a lot of money, but who knows. He is in Fast and Furious, that movie made money, and he's also in DC League of Super Pets, and maybe that will make money as well, I don't know. But anyway, that also has a cast of Keanu Reeves and others, Kevin Hart, so who knows. But back to Black Adam. Black Adam will make a total of $323 million at the box office, which means that it's gonna make less than the first Shazam movie, which will probably be a very disappointing thing for Warner Brothers. But hey, that's just my prediction. It might be totally off, might be way off, who knows. Thor Love and Thunder is a strange movie. I don't think that it is as loved as Thor Ragnarok is. I've seen some pretty shaky reviews. I believe it was GameSpot who gave the movie a 6 out of 10, but then again, I believe they also gave Batman a 6 out of 10, so don't listen to them. They are more into games than movies, but anyway, let's look at the 3 previous Thor movies in the Thor franchise. Now, the first Thor movie made 65.7 million domestically in its opening weekend. That's not something you see today with Marvel. In the second week, it made 34.7 million, with a 47% drop in the second weekend. Domestically, it made 181 million. Internationally, it made 268.2 million, for a total of 449.3 million. The sequel, Thor: The Dark World, actually did way better. In its domestic opening, it did 85.7 million, with 36.5 million in the second weekend. But it had a way bigger drop than the first movie. Well, I say way bigger, it had a 10% more drop, for a drop of 57.3 million. But domestically, it made 206 million, which is about 30 million more, little less than 30 million more. But internationally, it blew the first Thor movie out of the water. It made 438 million to a 68 million, for a total of 644.7 million total. And then there's Thor Ragnarok, a completely different movie to the 2 previous Thor movies. It had a domestic opening of 122.7 million. Now those are the numbers that we like to see these days with Marvel. In the second weekend, it made 57 million. In the second weekend, it dropped 53.5%, but domestically it made 315 million, which is 100 million more than the previous movie. And internationally, it made 538.9 million, which is also 100 million more than the previous movie, for a total of 853.9 million. Now those are good numbers. Those are good numbers. Now, Thor: Love and Thunder, I think it will be a disappointment. Now, this is not me looking in retrospective or anything. I recorded this, or I did this list way before Thor: Love and Thunder came out, but I think Thor: Love and Thunder will be a disappointment. Now, I'm not saying it won't make money. It will make money, but I think it will have a domestic opening of 150 million, which is 30 million more than Thor Ragnarok. Now, you will see the numbers. I don't know the numbers right now, but 150 million, I think, especially after Thor Ragnarok, I think people are willing to go see Thor: Love and Thunder. But then again, will they be so hot on Jane Foster? I'm not sure, but everyone loves Natalie Portman, I think, so they may be tuning in, and that's why I have a domestic opening of 150 million. Now, in the second weekend, it will make $62 million, and domestically it will make $329 million, which is about 15 million more than Thor Ragnarok. And internationally it will make 543 million, which is about 6 million more than Thor Ragnarok. But in total it will make 872 million, which is about 20 million more than Thor Ragnarok. Now, I think the Thor franchise has peaked at about 850 to 900 million. Now, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is probably the most difficult movie to actually predict, because we haven't seen anything about the movie. Now, it's supposed to drop in 11th of November 2022, and we don't even know who will be Black Panther. There are no images of Black Panther, so they might keep it to the movie, but how are you gonna have a Black Panther movie without a Black Panther? Now, I know of course that Chadwick Boseman has passed, and they are potentially keeping it secret. Now, some say Shuri is gonna take over the Black Panther mantle, and some say it will be that other king that was outside the Black Panther tribe. But that doesn't make sense, because if you are the Black Panther, you have to, I believe, worship the Panther god, and he wasn't in that tribe, so it does make sense that he becomes Black Panther. But anyway, now the Black Panther 2018 was a global phenomenon. it made $1.3 billion. I mean, it was huge, especially with an almost all-black cast. It was huge for the African American community to see a successful black lead movie. Black Panther 2018 had a budget of $200 million, and in its domestic opening, it made $202 million. $202 million. In its second week, it made $111.6 million. $111 million. I mean, that's huge. In the second weekend, it only dropped 44.7%. In the second weekend, 44.7%. Those numbers are great. Those are great numbers. This is the first movie where domestically it made more money than it did internationally, and I think that's because so many black people came together and actually watched this movie, and it made $700.4 million domestically, and internationally, very close numbers here. It made $647.1 million for a total of $1.3 billion, which is huge. Now, I don't think the craze for Black Panther is over. It's so difficult to predict because I don't think Black Panther Wakanda Forever will crack $1 billion. I don't think so. I think that craze is over. I think we have been there, done that, but I think it's so difficult to predict because a movie that made $1.3 billion has a sequel and it's not gonna crack the $1 billion club. I mean, I think I've been being very brave here. I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever will have a domestic opening of $136 million, which is crazy. I mean, those are good numbers, don't get me wrong. They're great numbers, but they're not 200 million good. They are, what is it? More than 70 million less than the first movie? But in the second weekend, it will have made $55 million. And domestically, it will make $480 million, I have said. And internationally, it will have made $460 million for a total of $896 million. Now let's just pull out the calculator for a second. What this means is that domestically, Black Panther Wakanda Forever will have made $220 million less than the first Black Panther movie domestically, and internationally it will make $238 million less, which means that it will make $451 million less than the first movie. That's a significant drop. I don't know, I just foresee that the movie will not make as much money as the first one, and it won't crack the $1 billion club. Now, if it cracks the $1 billion club, I was wrong. I will admit it, I was wrong. Now, this is probably, as I said, my bravest prediction on this list. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. But the movie has been rife with controversy, including Letitia Wright with all the COVID vaccination stuff. And I believe she held production as well, so the movie might be delayed. I don't know, I don't think it will be delayed, but then again, who knows. We'll probably see a trailer in 1-2 months after Thor Ragnarok. No, Thor Love and Thunder has, ran its course in theaters. But yes, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, $896 million at the box office. Now those are still great numbers, don't get me wrong. Any studio would love to have a movie make $896 million, give or take, at the box office, but compared to $1.3 billion, I don't think that's a great number, especially when you consider it will have made less than $400 million less than the first one. DC League of Super Pets is a very strange one. I have compared it here to the Lego Batman movie, as well as The Bad Guys and Lightyear. Now let's go over the numbers for these movies. The Lego Batman movie in 2017. Domestically, it made $53 million in its opening weekend. In the second weekend, it made $32.6 million, with a second week drop of only 38.4%, which is great numbers. And domestically, it made $175.9 million, versus internationally, where it made $136.2 million, for a total of $312.1 million. The Bad Guys made $23 million domestically in its opening weekend, and I like those numbers better than the Lego Batman movie, but then again, DC League of Super Pets has Batman in it. It also has Superman in it, and Wonder Woman, and Cyborg, but it's obviously focused on their pets. Will their pets be able to carry this movie? Now, I'm not sure. That's why it's so difficult. Anyway, The Bad Guys made $95 million domestically. Internationally, it made $147 million, and worldwide altogether, it made $242 million. Now, I like those odds. And obviously, DC League of Super Pets carries the DC brand. It has Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. But will they be able to carry this movie to $312 million like the Lego Batman movie? I also compared DC League of Super Pets to Lightyear, which had a 50 million opening domestically, but in the second weekend it dropped 64%, only making 18 million. Now that could happen to DC League of Super Pets, I'm not sure. As of 4th of June, it only sits at 153 million, which is very poor for a Disney Pixar movie, especially when it has a direct connection to the Toy Story franchise. I mean, the last Toy Story movie reached a billion with a domestic opening of 120 million, and Toy Story 3 did almost the same with 110 million domestic opening. So Lightyear, a huge disappointment. Right now, I have said that DC League of Super Pets will have a domestic opening of 19 million, which edges very close to The Bad Guys, and in the second weekend it will make 15 million. Domestically it will make 125 million, and internationally it will make 91 million, for a total of 260 million, or 216 million. Now, those numbers are about 25 million less than The Bad Guys, and 100 million less than the Lego Batman movie. Now, it's so difficult, this movie. It could be a huge disappointment, but it could also be a very, very big surprise. Hopefully, I will be wrong and it will make close to the Lego Batman movie numbers, but we will have to wait and see. But anyway, that has been my prediction. Tell me your prediction for these movies. Maybe you don't have to be as detailed, just give me the total numbers, or domestic and international numbers, and let's see who's right and who's wrong. Now, I haven't done box office predictions before. These are just wild guesses. At first I was just going to do the total number, but I thought that it may be more interesting to include domestic opening and second weekend drop and all that. This has been Just Phantom, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.